I am delighted to be able to introduce to you, if you haven't already met him, our clan chief, Malcolm Lord Forbes. Now, I'm on the board of the Council of Scottish Clans and Associations, and I deal with other clan chiefs, I deal with other clan societies, and by looking around, I can say with certainty and conviction that Malcolm is a stellar clan chief. He cares about what we do. He welcomes us into his home. He doesn't manage the minutia, leaves that to us, but he does give great advice when needed. And he is a welcome conduit to Scotland for all of us, because that's why we're all here. We are all connected with the House of Forbes, and he is our chief. And I'd like to have Malcolm Forbes say hello and tell us what you are working on in Clan Forbes estate.
Well, but first of all, I'd like to wish everybody a very happy new year. I know it's a bit late, but I hope it is a very prosperous new year for everybody. Anyway, Bart, you asked me to talk about the old kirkyard in the grounds here, which the Clan Society very kindly contributed enormously to its restoration, and we did quite a lot of work last summer on it, and have tidied up the actual kirk itself to a large extent, and also uncovered an enormous number of graves in the churchyard, which were completely overgrown with turf. So on, there are one or two more that I know we've still got to do, but it's not really the right weather at the moment to do it. But as soon as the weather does get a little better, we'll certainly keep going on that. And I hope that anybody who's coming over in the summer will come and look at what we've done. Um, you asked me to mention my grandson Geordie, who is just what is he? He's 13, and he's just been made head boy at his preparatory school, which was rather exciting. And he's been offered a place at Eton, which also is exciting. So he just has to pass the exam, which hopefully he won't fall at the last hurdle. Um, Other than that, yeah, as you asked me to talk about the embroidery, Bart, and I'm going to send you a bit of paper which I dug out from my father's um, belongings, with quite an interesting article on where the tapestry needlework actually came from. It's not very conclusive. There are about 3 or 4 different possibilities of how it came into the family. But you might, I'll send it over to you, and you might like to publish it in a newsletter or something when you've seen it, and I'm sure it needs a bit of editing anyway. But it is quite interesting. I think there is no doubt that it did originally come from Mary Queen of Scots, and that Mary Queen of Scots had a hand in doing some of the work. But exactly how it came into the family is slightly open to doubt. There are 3 or 4, as I say, different possibilities how it came in. Anyway, apart from that, I think all I can say is looking forward very much to seeing the clan tour in August again, and I hope you bring some decent weather with you. Other than that, is there anything else, Bart, that you want me to talk about?
How's the roof? I know when we were out there last time, you were having someone assess the soundness of the roof.
I'm touching a lot of wood at the moment, and at the moment, the buckets are dry.
That's good. I would like to open it up to anyone else who may have a question for Malcolm. If you can unmute or just give me
Malcolm, hello.
Peter Forbes.
Peter,
From,
hello.
from
How are you?
Washington, D.C., you know, where we solve the world's problems.
Absolutely,
Just
yeah.
if you jot down a few things, we'll work it out. I'm just a little curious. The history of Forbes tree planting, which I know is robust. And we don't have to get into here, but if you come across anything, an article or a scrap of paper, I'd love to, put it on our website at some point.
Yeah, there's a bit in the House of Forbes detailing what my great grandfather planted on the estate, which was really the main part of the forestry still.
That reminded me of another project that Malcolm has connected us with, and that is the Castle Forbes Perfumery. And we now have on our website a whole section called the Castle Forbes Boutique Shop, which lists all of the men's grooming products for sale. If you go to community, sub-menu is Castle Forbes Shop. So Malcolm was instrumental in connecting us with Andrew French, who is the head of the perfumery that he developed, well, of course, with Ginny. Ginny developed it and he expanded it. And we are now connected with a Chicago-based company called Small Flower. And so we are trying to promote the products in the United States as well. Yes, Janice has a question, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I just wanted to ask one quick question because I know there are about 40 of us on this call. I'm Janice Forbes Fight. I'm from the South. I live in Mississippi, about an hour from Louisiana, New Orleans, but I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm so excited to be a brand new member because I'm ancient in age. But I plan to come over because my cousin came to the Forbes Castle and told me all about it several years ago. And I wanted to know one more time when the date is in August for the get together for the clan.
Well, I think Bart can give you the dates, but I know it culminates at the Lonach gathering, I think, which is always the fourth Saturday in August.
So okay,
that's correct. The dates are actually August 19 to 26. Okay. And we now have 22. We had to get at least 20. We have 22 people. If you go to the website under blog and just search tour, you'll find the details and the itinerary, and our tour guide, our tour arranger, Janet Robertson, is really quite remarkable.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Can I just jump in there too, please? Hello.
Yes, Jane, I think.
Hello, I'm Jane Forbes Thompson. I'm a very brand new member too, and I only joined a few weeks ago, but I heard about these wonderful tours that you do in Scotland. I wonder, do you do them every year? I wouldn't be able to do it this year, but I would definitely be interested in doing it before I get too old.
No, what we're looking at is every other year because we are a small society. A lot of the larger clans do it every year. They have a clan gathering. But we're relatively small, and so we decided every even year and to try to keep it small to about 20, 22 people. So we're hoping to organize, if Malcolm will allow it, in 2026. And we try to change it around. So think of every even year. But again, go to the blog section of the website, search for tour, and the blogs about the tour will pop up.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Did I see Ron in there saying something?
Malcolm, good to see you. It's been a few years since we've seen each other.
Very good to see you, Ron.
And we, at the Virginia Scottish Games, there was some chat about you and Ginny being at the Virginia Scottish Games back in the 1990s.
I remember that.
Yeah, pleased to host you. It's a little bit cooler now than then. And if I remember correctly, both we were urging you to drink a lot of water and also take your tweed kilt jacket off because it's so hot. But we'd love to have you back over sometime. So maybe I can work with Bart. We can get him over either at Grandfather Mountain, Highland Games, or Virginia, or one of these things. And I'm also hoping, it's been a few years since I've been over there. It's before Trish passed, and I'm hoping to get over there and see. She like you did have some standing stones on the estate, and she was always very interested in the standing stones.
Heather, yes, you've raised your hand. Good girl.
Yes, thank you. Just a quick question. I wish I could be going with all of you guys on that tour. However, I'm going, but I'm not going on that tour because I have to go to a wedding in Ireland on August 31st, and then I am coming over to Scotland. Is there opportunity to come to visit Castle Forbes at all?
Yes, absolutely.
And I should just be in touch with your secretary to arrange that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm coming with my cousin, and she's not been there. I have been there and stayed there. So
lovely. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, and I'll bring some pictures of about 30 odd years ago when we were all quite younger. Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know, is if we could arrange a tour just, when we're there.
Yes, of course.
Heather and
Yes.
other people, if you want to contact Malcolm and the estate,
Yep.
just go to the website castle-forbes.com and then click on contact. There's an email address there for the estate office and a telephone number.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other questions? And I see no hand. Oh, Victor Ney has his hand raised. Victor, have a question?
Yes, thank you. Pleasure to meet you, Lord Forbes. I'm actually like married to a Fordyce. The family farm is my in-laws went and picked up their Century farm. It's the Fordyce farm in Iowa. It's been in the family for about 106 years now. But in doing my research and trying to figure out my wife's genealogy and that kind of stuff, I found kind of some conflicting information. One is that Fordyce is a variation of Forbes, and one is that it's a sept. So I'm trying to figure out which one is which. I met a convener in the Pleasanton Highland Games, and I was asking her, and she said, "Oh yeah, just send an email to Malcolm Lord Forbes. He'll tell you how." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that seems awkward, but sure, why not?" So figured at least to get an opportunity to meet you and see if you had an answer for that. Thank you for your time.
I think the Fordyces are always regarded as a sept of the Forbes clan, rather than a variation of the spelling. But who knows, really? They
Malcolm?
we certainly regard Fordyces as part of the clan.
Joshua Fordyce is on. I've chatted with him about researching some more, but there were Fordyces long ago in Aberdeenshire. So I can, well, obviously he's the chief, he knows. But yes, it does seem to be a sept, and I hope to convince Joshua to start researching it more and find some histories. I actually found some gravestones with Fordyces in the 15th, 16th century. So we hope to have more information for all the Fordyces.
Yeah, there is a little village of Fordyce up on the coast. Yeah.
This is Josh Fordyce here. Can you see me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There's actually a town called Fordyce in the Fordyce area, and that's where the name originated from, surname. So it is not a variation. It is definitely people from my family. We originated from that town.
Yeah.
And I will receive your blog in a couple of weeks, right, Joshua?
You bet. I've got all kinds of stuff for you.
Great. Any other questions from our clan chief before we go into the rest of the program? Any hands up?
Don Forbes here from Nova Scotia. Lord Forbes, we are distant cousins. Our most recent common ancestor, according to Philip Stead, is the second Lord Forbes. So I'm one of the ones from Patrick, of course, in that study that he did with the Y-DNA.
Oh, yeah.
But my question was whether you're aware of who the burials are in the Kirk, are there stones still including those that you might be able to uncover that would have inscriptions that are legible, or
Yeah, well,
any idea who's there?
Yeah, no, we know exactly who's there, and because I have a little booklet with all the names of all the inscriptions on all the gravestones, as I say, many of which had been covered up for many years, and no, we know exactly who's there and the dates and what was written about them.
And wonderful to uncover.
Some of it's quite difficult to read now.
Yeah.
But we know exactly where all the gravestones are.
Having earlier transcriptions is always wonderful when they when they become difficult to read. But I'm glad to hear that you're uncovering some.
Yeah.
So thank you very, very much for being part of our gathering, and please stay.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Thanks, Malcolm.
Thank you, Malcolm.
It's a pleasure.
We'll talk about some of our milestones that we reached in 2023. I know that Bart's going to go into greater detail, but just to give you an idea, the Clan Forbes tour, right now we are fully booked, and we're looking forward to touring the Aberdeen area of Clan Forbes, the castles and heritage sites. I'm excited to be returning. I did go in 2022, and I can say that while we will revisit some places, there are new sites also. So very, very excited about that. The second is our membership works program. So it's a new online membership service. So that's up and running. Bart did a wonderful job with the Clan Forbes Heritage and Legacy booklet. If you've ever seen those booklets at the games that are mass produced, he redid that into something that we can be really proud of. And then, of course, the restoration of the old Kirk. We're very proud of our contributions and involvement in that project. For the business side of things, we can see that from these charts, we are operating with a comfortable level of revenue, membership and donations being the major contributor to our society. You, the members, are our mainstay and enable us to bring you the information and events which keep you connected to our heritage. This connection is achieved through our games, publications, merchandise, and grants. Again, congratulations, and other correspondence over the year. Additionally, this revenue has allowed us to contribute to projects such as the DNA project, the new membership program, and restoration of projects for the clan. We appreciate all of the contributions of our members. The next is our social media following. We have excellent social media presence, utilizing 3 platforms that are well visited. Thank you to our fearless leader, Bart, for the time and effort he puts in to keep the information fresh and relevant. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And that is all that I have, unless you have specific questions about finances, but it's not as interesting as Queen Mary, so I would not expect too much. So I will gratefully introduce Mr. Joshua Fordyce. Josh has come in. He has taken over the role of VP of Conveners. I don't know that he really knew that that's what was happening at the time, but he has got a great fresh vision for our convener roles and is a great addition to our team, as well as being a newly published author. So with that, I will turn it over to Josh. If you want to just speak to these or whatever you have in your mind? Josh, go for it.
So yeah, this is my first year. I just started this January as the VP of Conveners. A little bit about myself. I was in the Navy as a crypto tech. I worked in the Navy for 10 years and then I got out and I was a prison guard for a while. So I've had a pretty rough career life. But also, I was very involved in genealogy even at the age of 14. So much so that my great grandmother, Elizabeth Fordyce, who lived to be 106, passed down all of her genealogical research to me at a really young age. But when I went to the Grandfather Mountain Stone Mountain Highland Games here in Georgia, I saw that they did not have a Forbes tent, and I was really excited to find it, and they didn't have one. So my wife immediately was like, "Oh no, here we go." She knew that I was going to take it over, and so I did contact Bart, and I did take over convening for that games. In the wake of that, I created a state site for Clan Forbes Society that started with 0 and now it's up to about 30, 35. And so my vision for the convening was to try to have a representative for each state. And then furthermore, because that would be very hard to manage, having district conveners. But of course, that's going to take some time and some effort. So I've been working with the board on what's the best way to do that. You can see on this slide our current conveners. We have a total of 10. We do have a few that are getting prepped to start their first clan games. So we do have about 10 to 12. And I just wanted to put an invite out to everyone, obviously, that if you really enjoy the games and you'd like to see more representation, to consider becoming a convener. We need all the help that we can get. We do all the best that we can with what we have, but we just updated the convening list for games, and it's about 125, the new updated list. So as you can see, there's a lot of potential for Clan Forbes to really be active throughout the United States. But if we're only doing 10 of those, then we're not really influencing a lot of areas. So that is a huge vision of mine, is to prepare people, to inspire them. Different people do convening for different reasons. For me, it's kind of a duty. I kind of felt like I wanted to preserve our heritage by doing it. And I really want to prep just not myself, but also more folks through training and through different things. Just knowledge. How do you do it? What do you do? Does the society help you? Yes, absolutely it does. We do support it. So I just wanted to say that we do need that help. Bart has helped me by giving me a new email, which I want to give, which is at conveners@clan-forbes.org. So you can now email me, and I will be reaching out to folks as games start within their areas. You may be getting an email from me saying, "Hey, can you go to the games?" This updated list, as you can see here, has the ones in green mean they have people who will be at them. There's not very many represented, about 9% of the games. Now, not all of these games that are listed on this list have the ability to have a clan representation, but I still want to post them in case something near you is happening that's very Scottish related, that might get you inspired to help in some way or more capacity. I look forward to meeting more of the conveners. In fact, we have an idea to allow conveners to share stories. You may have seen one recently on the website of mine called Connect Forbes, where I met a young man who wanted to play. I have a game called Connect Forbes, and it's a giant Connect 4 game. and he had a great time, and his mom was even crying when she came to talk to me after and said he didn't even want to come. And now he's telling me he wants to come to every single Highland Games in the area. So it's just little things like that where we can inspire folks to not only be excited about Clan Forbes, but also their heritage and and his grandfather was in Her Majesty's Navy in Scotland. So he was very happy too that his grandson was wanting to be more involved. And it just took a little thing like that game to make that happen. So there are so many things we can do to help inspire folks and get them involved. And I hope whether you do it for fun or for duty or to meet people, or if you just love your culture, I hope that we can get more people on board to get this thing out and about to everyone. I think that's all I had planned to say, but I can always keep talking.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh. We really appreciate you being on board and appreciate your vision for the next generation of conveners, shall we say. All right, so with that, we will go to Natalie, who is going to talk about our membership. Maybe if she takes herself off mute.
I will take myself off mute. I am also a convener. So, and I much like Josh got involved because I went to the biggest game here in Colorado and there was no Forbes tent. So, as everyone should know at this point, the board decided last fall to switch to a new platform for our membership, which should make things much easier. This one here is a representative of legacy members, which were from the old society that we sort of inherited those members in and embrace them into the new society. Patron members, and you can see the growth going through the years here from 2019 to 2023. We've added some more. We actually added a patron member this morning who I thought might be on the call, but I didn't see his name on here. But probably 2 hours before this call, we had another patron member join. I am still wrapping my head around this new system. I had a little bit of a struggle last year at the end of the year, and thankfully our board is so fantastic that Bart stepped in and helped out with some things for me. So if you haven't heard from me as far as membership goes, hold tight. I'm still down. I'm down to about 130 more emails. So you might just be one of those. But our membership growth will definitely be changing. I've had a million people email and say, oh gosh, I was a member and then I just forgot about it. So with this new software, it's going to make it easier because it reminds you, and you can actually set it up to auto renew if it's something that you're interested in doing. And I had a question about that this morning that I don't know yet regarding our membership because I'm not 100% sure of how everything works. But I had a gentleman that reached out this morning about, his credit card has changed. And so it didn't give him the option to change his credit card information. But our membership is where we're at. I mean, we go to the Highland Games here in the States to bring in members. And I know that a lot of people go to the games and they want to meet and have fun and get involved in the heritage. But in truth, we're not gaining a ton of membership through it. We're gaining it a lot more through our Instagrams, our word of mouth even. I had a great story, which I'll probably have to share with Josh's new format, but I had a group of people that came out. They knew they were Forbes. Their mother was forever trying to get them involved. And the minute they came in and I answered questions and I had maps and I had pictures and we had books and we had the Castle of Forbes book and they had things to actually touch and see in person. Obviously that gets them more excited. They 3 of them went and bought kilts that day, and they marched with us in the parade. We are I don't know. I mean, I guess the numbers here speak for themselves. I think it's boring to look at a number and read you the number. You can see it on the screen. But our membership, we're growing. And I want to say to anybody that's out there that might be bored or have a little extra time on their hands that wants to get involved, I also am a genealogist, so I want to be a little bit more involved on cleaning up some of our current ancestry tree that we have and getting some genealogy sourcing behind some of the stuff that people have put on that didn't realize they needed to. So anyone that's willing to step in and help out with anything that we do, whether it's convening or membership or, we certainly welcome, the assistance and truthfully, like I say, I'm grateful for having found the society. I'm grateful that I was able to go on the tour last time we went, and I intend on going. I will be there in August and enjoying the heck out of all of this stuff for the members. I will openly share any photos and things I take with anyone. So I guess if there's something you need, or if there's something that we're not doing as far as membership, I like to have the personal contact with people. For me, that's the part of it that I enjoy. So, feel free to reach out to me. It's still the same email. It's clan-forbes.org, I believe. We should probably have those on these slides. I'm just thinking that. But that's all I've got. And I just want to say thank you to all of our members, because you make us a success and you get us excited about, bringing new things to you. So thank you. We had someone join here at the very tail end of what you were talking about here, which she's a award-winning member of the Clan Forbes Society. And I don't know if we can get her on, if we can get her to say hello. But Malcolm, I wanted you to know that we've got a woman here in the States that is competing in the Highland Games. Her mother was a Forbes. She is so proud of her heritage and being a Forbes, and she has been all around the world, including in Scotland, and she has been breaking records in her class for several different events. And if I can get Cindy Johnson, if she can come off, CJ is what she goes by, if she can come off mute and just say hello and tell us what it is that she's got records all over the world.
Well, hi. So thanks for that kind introduction, Natalie. I have to say, I'm just thrilled to be here. When I first met Natalie, she literally had me to tears. I'm very solid in my heritage. My mom is Faith Elizabeth Forbes. My pappy's from Aberdeen, Charles Forbes. And I grew up in the States. My mom married American boy. And so I'm one of 7 children, and we've always been very athletically inclined, but we hold true to our heritage. We grew up with our tartan, and we've always gone to the Celtic festivals. And then when I came to Colorado 20 years ago, we continued all those traditions. About 2015, and there's a lot of story here, I was introduced to the games, and I was actually given an opportunity to compete, and I had no idea if I was going to be able to do well. I just thought I'd try. I'm grateful, I'm humbled by the fact that a little hard work and some really supportive friends have given me an opportunity to present myself on the field well. Right now, I hold 5 world records in my age group, and I absolutely and completely would love the opportunity to continue in the sport and break more. I start my preseason in March. I typically compete for about 6 months out of the year. This year is going to be 8 months. I'm incredibly compassionate and passionate and competitive about this sport and my heritage. So when I saw Natalie in the tent and she came to me and I realized it was Clan Forbes, I literally cried. I have been competing on a shoestring and doing what I need to do to get where I need to be to throw. And I was thrilled to have the flag and the tartan in the stands cheering for me. And Natalie was there when I broke the world record in September. So I can't tell you what it means to connect with the clan. I have a brother that's just as passionate that brought me into the sport. And my mom came to Moncton, New Brunswick last year where they competed, and that's where she grew up. And I got to win at that event as well. It's the first time my mom ever got to see me. Unfortunately, my dad passed away and didn't get to see me compete, but I know he's watching. There's so much more to say. I'm just so grateful that I met Natalie, and I'm just so grateful to have found the clan, and I'm literally shaking talking, so I'm going to stop there. Thank you so
Cindy,
much.
thank you for being. Natalie, do you want to tell her what we've talked about on the board and perhaps make an announcement? Is it premature?
I don't think it's premature. The board has decided that we are going to purchase or put money towards a kilt for her that's going to be specifically made for her. It will be it's going to have extra special things on it, so when she's throwing, the kilt doesn't fall off. It'll have Velcro, which not most kilts have. But we have a kilt maker here in Colorado that has measured her, and all we need to do is submit deposit for the kilt to be made. And we are going to have her. She was not in a Clan Forbes kilt when I met her, but this woman has been screaming Clan Forbes. And so I scream it when I'm in the stands to the point where I can't talk the next day. This woman is a dynamo, and she is truly supportive of everybody in the sport. And she's showing everybody else how to do it. So, and she's just so gracious. So we are honored to be able to sponsor her kilt purchase, so that she will be in the Forbes kilt going forward, and everything I can be at with my Clan Forbes, tartan. I've got 2 tartans on the pole, so I can come out and scream for her. So, and I know she's been to Scotland. You've been to Scotland, right, Cindy? She's competed in Scotland, and I want to say you broke a record in Scotland.
Well, I will correct that. I was to Scotland before I competed. But I've competed internationally and won records and placements in Iceland, Germany, Switzerland last year, Canada, and this year it's going to be in the States and Florida. And then I was invited to go to Australia next year. So I do have to say one thing. I feel like it was a gift when I walked on the field that year and I met a group of women that were supportive. And I will do everything to be an ambassador for the sport to the day I take my last breath, because I think it changes lives. And I have a voice. If I'm going to have a speaker, I'm going to shout for the games. And I truly am Clan Forbes 100%. I've been wearing Clan Kilt Mackenzie, and with all due respect, I just tell folks all the time, I don't have my tartan on, but it's pretty close to this. I'm going to get one soon, and I'm thrilled. I'm just thrilled to hear that I'm going to be able to wear the Forbes tartan. So I don't know what to say, but thank you, and I'm so humbled and grateful.
To put this in context, the board decided to give $500, and this is the first grant that we are giving in support of our members, and we want to continue this. And it will be a member advised grant pool. We don't know how many requests we'll get in. We want to support athletics, the dancing, the music, but we want to make sure that we support our people who are there at the games and in these competitions. If they want to go to school, we're working out the details of that. But Cindy is going to be the first recipient of the Clan Forbes Society grant. And I feel, and it was Natalie that brought it up, and we all feel great about it. And I'm so glad you're here, Cindy. So glad that you'll be able to hear that directly from us.
Well, I want you to know, I'm a little shaky now because I'm just so grateful. But when I'm on that field, that's my field. And I let everybody know I'm Clan Forbes, and I will continue to do anything and everything I can do to support the society. At all these festivals I go to, the representation for Forbes is minimal with the exception of Estes Park. And I have walked in a parade where clans typically have dozens of people with just my brother and I, because we refuse not to fight. So we say we may be small, but we are fierce. I know it's Grace Me Guide, and I'm trying to be graceful. I'm passionate. So thank you so much.
All right, so we're gonna move over to Bart again, and he's going to discuss those milestones that I had previously shared and some exciting stuff that he's got going on for the future. So just tell me to click right, Bart, whenever you're ready to move to the next slide.
Okay, I want to totally endorse what Natalie has said. If there's something of interest that you see here that you might want to be learning more about or want to jump in like Peter just did, let us know. Anyway, some of our major achievements, we do have our 2024 Scotland ancestral tour all lined up. We have 22 people going, which is a really nice number. And we've switched it up. We're coming back, of course, to Castle Forbes, Derminer Castle, Pitsligo, Fyvie, and Craigivar Castle. Well, we've added some new ones, so people who haven't been on, who were on the last trip can go to some interesting on other places like Tahun. We're going on an Aberdeen walking tour. I'm looking at the Forbes ancestral sites in Aberdeen, so we'll walk on the city more. And of course, Donaghadore, which will be great because I'm dying to go there. So we switch it up every time. So I'm really excited about the tour. As I mentioned, we hope to have a tour on every even year. So we're looking ahead to 2026 as well. Swipe.
And the
There we
whole
go.
Craigivar pinking the castle, if there are kids involved, that just makes their heads explode with Cinderella and all that.
That's right. Okay, the next slide, two ahead, Leslie. Okay, this has been a passion of mine. I, as have you, have seen these silly pamphlets at all the Royal Mile stations and all the games, the ones you see up top, left and right. This one, Clan Forbes Heritage Legacy, is ours. I've shipped Malcolm about 100 of them for all the folks who stop by at the castle. I've sent, with the help of Tony Uribe, my husband, we've sent them out to all of our current members and new members. We have a few hundred left. What I want to do is to go to the folks who are at the games and say, look it, we will give you 50 or 100 of these, no cost if you want to sell them, but getting this out to other people. So if you have an idea on how to get this out, I want to go on Etsy, I want to go on eBay, I want to go on Amazon. I'm trying to get it out to as many people as possible as the basic core of Clan Forbes Heritage and Legacy that is truly ours. So I'm really excited about getting this out. I've lots of them here. I've sent out a number of them to our conveners. It's for our members, or I want to sell it online as well to get the word out, and has connection to all of our website and to the society itself. So if you have ideas or if you want to take on that job, let me know. president@clan-forbes.org. Next slide. You've heard us mention this. I'm so excited that we've worked with Malcolm Lord Forbes about getting this cleaned up. It was just heartbreaking to see the overgrown gravestones. I'm just thrilled that the Clan Forbes Society has invested back into the Castle Forbes estate. Think about it. Malcolm Lord Forbes, his wife Ginny, Lady Forbes, have opened their homes. This is where they live. They opened their homes to hundreds of people. This is the first time we can really show our appreciation by giving back to our clan chief and restoring our literal heritage. There are 5 clan chiefs buried here. I hope to have more of these restoration projects, but we really need to have your engagement and your excitement about this. Another project I want to have in the future, if you've been to the Greyfriars Kirk, Greyfriars Bobby, that's where Duncan Forbes of Culloden is buried. That's where there's a whole area of Forbes. Along the wall, there's a tomb area. It's all gone to rack and ruin, and we need to clean that up. but there's so many opportunities here. I'm so grateful for all of the members who've contributed to this project, and we'll see how we can do more restoration projects so that our society can give back to the people who have given us our heritage, and we appreciate the legacy that they provide us. I'm really proud about this, folks. Okay, next. Looking forward, my gosh, you've already heard in this little meeting about how we've been able to do so many things based on the ideas and the dedication of our members. You saw about Cindy, it was Natalie who brought that forward. The restoration, that was a project of mine. You've heard from Joshua about what he wants to do to highlight our conveners. Our society runs on brilliance, ideas, dedication. It runs on you. And I want to see you. Leslie, could we stop sharing? And I want to see people now. There we go. Look around on the screen. These are your cousins. These are the people that you share a heritage with. These are family. And together we can do so much. Get an idea, you wave, hello. These are your family. And we've been able to, yeah, there's the booklet. Thank you, Heather. But these are your family. And together we can do so very, very much. We've really made an impact with Cindy, with the Kegel Kirk. We have a wonderful chief in the form of Malcolm and Ginny, who's launched her perfumery, and now we've opened that up to people in America. And I see Cindy Johnson's Oliver lapel pins. Some of the ideas we've gotten just from the last elections. If you remember, we had a survey and we asked people to let us know what they wanted for us to do. And some of the things came back were very interesting. What they wanted, let's see where they were. What they wanted from us was some very specific benefits. They wanted to have, first off, they want to have their own database of the ancestry online. And so we're going to work on that as best we can. That was the number one. Most people wanted to have an access to a directory of Forbes ancestors in Scotland. That was the number one thing that people wanted. Number two was special publications available only to members. We've done that 2 years ago with the House of Forbes for Kids. We've done this last year with Clan Forbes Heritage and Legacy, and I'm looking at some ideas for the next year. I'm looking at maybe an overview of Castle Forbes or heritage sites in Edinburgh. We have lots of possibilities. Number three was discounts on Clan Forbes merchandise. I've already reached out to House of Tartan. They do discounts for other clan societies. I want to see if I can get one going for us. Plus, we had for the month of December, a discount for our membership with the Castle Forbes men's grooming product. We have now a strong relationship with them, and I want to continue that to follow through on the request for discounts on merchandise. Number four was access to private section of the Clan Forbes Society website. What else can we offer just to our members? It's only on our website. You may have some ideas for that. And number five, something that my husband Tony is very excited about. They want a lapel pin. Why not? We should have a Clan Forbes crest lapel pin. But these are the things that you all and all of our family members have requested, and we need folks like you who can jump in and say, I'll take a piece of that. I'll take do that. And we're doing it for ourselves and for our own legacy, because what we do today affects our children and our grandchildren. So first off, I want to thank you all, especially the board. We have a very special group of people. I want to give a shout out to Jim Forbes, who stepped back. He's now traveling the world and focusing on family. He's done a great job as the former vice president for operations. But this is a very special group of people, the board, and we want other people who are willing to jump in and do something. We have what we call a functional. Hey, there's Jim. Hey, I'm Jess. Thank you for your service. both in the military and for Clan Forbes Society. He was the one, for example, had the idea to celebrate veterans. So now we have a whole section of the website devoted to people in the military for Clan Forbes Society. So little ideas like that make a big difference. So I get so excited talking about this because we've come so long since 2019 when I first reincorporated and launched this whole effort. And with the support of you and with Malcolm Lord Forbes, we've done an amazing job. And I'm just so grateful for all of you to be here today. I want to introduce all of you to the lovely Maggie Foster, the author of a series of mystery books.
Which
Loch
feature
Lonach.
Clan Forbes.
Based on Clan, the name of the protagonist is Ginny Forbes, and it's primarily based on Loch Lonach. And we've been chatting behind the scenes. She wants to use the Red Banquet, I guess, in the form of one of your books. So Maggie, tell me please, what is the next book that's coming out?
Okay, I am currently working on book 7 in the murder mystery series. I took time off to do a romance mystery combination, same group of characters, location, but it doesn't get counted, so because it's not a murder mystery. Book 7 starts with it's Halloween morning. It's the morning of the 31st of October, and Ginny looks out the window and there's an unexplained car parked out in front of her house. And when the sun comes up, because at this point they get up before the sun because they all have to be at work and so on. Anyway, so sun comes up and they peek in the window and there's a skeleton behind the wheel. It's a self-driving car, an autonomous vehicle, and it has arrived during the night. So everybody just assumes it's a Halloween prank, but it's not.
Where can we buy the books?
This is the one I'm currently working on. The other 6 are available on Amazon.
I've
Okay,
read
thank
all
you.
6. I'm anxiously awaiting the 7th.
Who was
Now,
that?
I just want to say,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maggie has reached out. We're looking at ways that we can promote the books, the Clan Forbes Society. We need to chat, Maggie, because I've gotten some great ideas. And one of our Clan Forbes Society members is actually an editor and works for a publisher. So we may be looking at, I don't know what, maybe just brainstorming. Now,
they're fun.
We did do a blog on her first book, which is Arms of Death. If you go to the blog section, I have not been keeping up with that, so I apologize to you, Maggie. But we'll be doing some more mutual support of that because I do want to expand, as I mentioned, the store function of the Clan Forbes Society website. But thank you for reminding me about that. But that's something is part of what we're doing, the merchandising store, Castle Forbes. Also through Castle Forbes Perfumery, we now have a relationship with Rakuten Advertising. And you've heard of them.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we are now an official seller for Rakuten. And one of their suppliers is allposters.com. And Rob Forbes just wrote an article for us about Stanhope Forbes, a famous artist. And allposters.com are offering a whole bunch of his artwork on posters. So we hope to have that up in a few weeks. This is the one way to kind of get more streams of income into the Clan Forbes Society by merchandising. So working with Maggie, working with Rakuten, working with Castle Forbes Perfumery, working with House of Tartan to get discounts for our members. We're trying to develop those streams of revenue as well. So this is just
all of these stories started with my trip to Scotland and going to the Lonach Games and seeing the March of the Lonach Men. I mean, these things just I can't say I wasn't already a Scot. I was, but this lit a fire under me, and it's been so much fun working all of this stuff into the stories. Well, I just want one more minute, if everybody will tolerate. I cannot tell you how much being a member of Clan Forbes has enriched my life personally. And I want you all to take a moment and think about how we hear about giving back all the time. I also think of this as recharging my batteries. It makes it possible for me to keep going. And that is a tremendous gift.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. And you will soon
All right.
hear more.
Okay.
Any other comments, thoughts before we move on? Leslie, anything before I close out?
No, just thank everybody, and this was really great. I love this.
So I will just close out by saying to you all, and thank you, Malcolm, for being a part of this, but all
Thank you, Mel.
grace me guide.
Yes.
Yes, grace be guide.
Thank you all for being a part of this.
Okay.
And Slan Shava.
Kanchava.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Well,
Good
Nice
night.
to meet you all. See you in August.
See you all soon.
Good night. Yes.